Hello, fabulous one. I'm going to reveal the secret why motherhood and marriage is going to help you awaken faster than any spiritual teacher in a monastery. Welcome to Self Mastery School for Moms, where you learn how to silence your inner saboteur, awaken your energy body, and connect to your higher self. You will go from mom to master so you can make each day your masterpiece. My name is Janice Nelson, author and self-mastery teacher of Fabulous One Philosophy. I'm on a mission to help you become the awakened mom. You are Fabulous One, and all you have to do is remember what you forgot. The reason why it is much easier and at the same time is easy is relative, right? So take it with a grain of salt. But the reason why it's going to be easier for you to awaken is because with motherhood and marriage comes a lot of resistance. There's many times you have to deal with resistance of your children, and there are many occasions you will have to deal with resistance coming from your husband. That resistance is a great opportunity to always connect within, to always find the deeper truth within yourself. And here's the funny part. You don't have to ask your children or your husband to give you any resistance. It's a given. It's given to you all the time. So you can use that to accelerate yourself. Now, where it becomes extremely difficult if you have more attachments besides your children and your husband. So if you truly want to go through the spiritual awakening process, if you truly want to triumph and reach the other side as an enlightened person, then keeping the people that are inside your home, see them as an extension of you, and whenever they give you resistance, you deal with it. Tell yourself you have to deal with it. Tell yourself you have to come to a positive conclusion. Tell yourself you're not going to stop until you figure something positive out. This is going to help in your relationship with your children, and it's also going to enhance your relationship with your husband. But everybody else, you need to kick them out on an energetic level. So whoever is not living with you in the home, whoever is calling you from the outside, right? Let's call them the outside. And whoever lives with you in your home is on the inside. Everybody that lives with you inside the home, they get to disturb you. They get to give you resistance. They get to put up the challenge for you to stay in alignment. And so now you're going to see it as a game. The people in my house are going to give me resistance, and this is a test for me to stay in alignment. Right? And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard enough already to do that. And that's next to, of course, your spiritual practices, whatever you're used to doing. So if you're used to studying, if you're used to doing your meditations, if you're used to doing your yoga, whatever it is that you do in order to stay in alignment, you keep doing that. But instead of telling yourself a story that the children or the husband or the mother-in-law or grandma, whoever is living with you in the house, are disturbing your peace and are preventing you from becoming more conscious or becoming enlightened, you need to turn that story around. And you need to say to yourself, my children and my husband and any other family members who are living with me in the house are helping me accelerate to higher levels of consciousness. When you allow some resistance in, it's going to accelerate you. And that's why student monks enter a monastery. Because when they enter a monastery, who is there? The teacher. Who is there to give them resistance? The teacher. And I don't know if you know about traditional, enlightenment schools, but it's not all just, meditation and loving and caring and being of service to the community. The teachers are quite tough. right? And I saw this cartoon, one of my husband's favorite cartoons he likes to watch. It was like a martial arts cartoon. And there was this student monk and the teacher, Shifu. And every time the student was eating his lunch, the teacher would like come out of nowhere and then would just hit the boy would just hit the boy on his hand while he was eating his sandwich, right? And he would just hit the boy with a stick, the teacher stick that you use for the board, hit the boy on his hand. And the boy got so angry, right? And so at a certain point, the boy wanted to retaliate. The boy wanted to get back at the teacher. And so the boy was constantly trying to find ways to surprise the teacher, to sneak up upon the teacher. But of course, the teacher is the teacher, so the teacher already knows. So every time the boy gets like smacked, right? Until the boy surrenders. He gives up. He lets go of this whole idea that he needs to fight his teacher. He surrenders. And that's when you're going to really truly feel at peace, when you surrender. But you got to practice with small groups of people. You can't do this while you take on the world. If you're trying to take on the world at once while trying to become more conscious or reach a higher level of consciousness, it's going to be very hard. But since you are a mother, since you are married, these two groups of people, or these two categories, basically, is not something you want to get rid of just so you can reach enlightenment. Your children and your husband are not the people you want to say to that they need to be quiet or go somewhere else because you are busy trying to reach higher levels of consciousness, right? Of course, you can request some quietness in the house while you're trying to do your meditation. But at a certain point, you need to want it even more than how much noise there is in the house. You need to want it even more than how loud your husband has the TV. And so that will train you to go past it. Because if you're constantly fighting in your mind, I wish this was different, I wish that was different, I wish this was different, you're not going to get there. But a student monk doesn't get this valuable resistance in a monastery because everybody there wants to be a monk. Everybody there wants to learn. Everybody there has the same objective. So their growth is going to be really, really slow. Because in order to grow, you need resistance. But if you are a mother and you are married and you are interested to become a self-master, then these two elements is going to speed up your process. You're going to get there so much faster than a traditional student monk in a monastery. Some monks in a monastery study 20, 30 years and still don't reach that point. But if you study, do your meditations, and then see the family inside your home as an extension of you and allow them to trigger you, give them permission in your mind, you're going to see how easy it is to let go of things. And to a certain point, this is what motherhood does to you, right? With the first child, you might have a lot of resistance. And I only have one child, but my imagination is very big. So I can imagine the second child, the third child, and when number 3 comes, do you really care still? With the first child, everything has to be perfect and you make this perfect lunch, with heart shapes and stuff like that. By the time it's number 3, you're like, okay, bread. You just put stuff in the box. As long as you can eat and stay alive, it's okay, right? So that's a form of letting go without us realizing it. So in marriage and in motherhood, there are a lot of spiritual practices that we have to do unconsciously in order to align, in order to have a great marriage, in order to have a great relationship with your children, but we have never classified it or labeled it as a spiritual practice. So therefore, we take it for granted and we don't acknowledge the growth within ourselves. Even worse, we allow society to tell us we are lesser than, even though these experiences are so valuable, more valuable than any type of outside job in the outside world could give you. This type of resistance not only levels you up to higher levels of awareness, but as well opens your heart to unconditional love. Take advantage of the fact that you are a mother, that you are married, and allow the resistance to propel you to higher states of awareness.